If Donald Trump's political power lies in being able to convince his supporters of anything and everything, then loud public dissent from inside his coalition, from prominent MAGA influencers, might be the thing that will melt his carefully crafted alternative fact-based reality faster than the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz. And that is exactly what is starting to happen.
The way it looks is horrific. When you're just arresting people in front of their kids and just normal, regular people that have been here for 20 years, that everybody who has a heart can't get along with that.
We have a labor force in America across many industries that has been built on illegal labor. That's a fact. That also cannot be ignored. And as a conservative and as a business owner in the construction industry and as a realist, I can say we have to do something about labor, and that needs to be a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person and deporting them just like that. Right. So, and I'm going to get pushback on that, but I'm just living in reality from here on out.
We have to have a border. Yes, it should have been secure. Yes, they should make sure you know who everybody is before they get in. Yeah. But when people been here for 20 years, like, come on, man. That's crazy.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and let me tell you something. I did not have agreeing with something that Joe Rogan and Marjorie Taylor Greene have said on my bingo card for October. But here we are, and shockingly, did you notice that I said Marjorie Greene instead of Marge the Trainwreck Greene? Yeah. Hard for me to believe too, but she's kind of showing some intestinal fortitude that calls for respect.
I'm going to speak from very real experience. We have a labor force in America across many industries that has been built on illegal labor. That's a fact. That also cannot be ignored. Right. And I'll say it like this, the same way I look at the health insurance industry and I'm analyzing, we need to build an off-ramp, but an off-ramp is gradual, right? Off of the Affordable Care Act, off of Obamacare into some sort of new system that is much better. I also look at this problem that we have with illegal immigration, that we can build an off-ramp there.
This is crazy to ask lower income and middle income people who are, kind of getting by, and then all of a sudden you're about to ship them to a country where they've never been. They haven't been since they were 4. Yeah. And you're gonna pull up their family and they've been in the community like that. That shows no heart. And that's the problem. Like, you're not going to get any reasonable people to want to go along with that. Any kind person would look at that and go, this can't be the only way to do this.
Damn right.
And I've never been a fan of Joe Rogan, but this shift in tone is huge. And these two are finding some unexpected support online. And what's especially shocking is that it's coming from the radical left, the libs that they set out to own years back. Apparently, 2 of Trump's biggest mouthpieces have had a sudden change of perspective. And it's got people like Nicole Wallace scratching their heads trying to make sense of it all.
New standard there emerging in American politics and in one of the most influential media bubbles in American politics. The Rogan standard is that it is now, quote, heartless if you were for sending anyone back who's been in the country 20 years, anyone other than, quote, terrorists and people coming in with drugs. Have an effing heart. And if you do it anyway, you don't have one.
Rogan spread COVID misinformation and UFO cover-up, mind control experiment nonsense to millions of followers, and Marge has spread similar tripe. Space laser garbage, lizard people BS, election conspiracies. These two have been a tag team of chaos and have earned every single bit of backlash that's been dished out against them. For years, they shoveled unlimited amounts of horse manure straight into the mouths of their hungry audience, feeding a machine built on outrage, fear, and the glue that binds it all together, conspiracy theories. They've pushed countless lies, chasing ratings, and cashed in on division like it was an Olympic sport. And now that the fire they helped light is burning out of control and it's affecting them or people they know personally, they suddenly see the error of their extremist ways.
So this shift in rhetoric and tone and these new standards being laid out there, Marjorie Taylor Greene saying it's not living in reality to carry out Trump's deportation policy is more than a shift in tone. It's a shift in her position.
The first step in recovery is admitting that there's a problem, and it seems that Joe Rogan and Marjorie Taylor Greene may be waking up to the reality that they were wrong, and still supporting an authoritarian regime that's been unleashing absolute terror on American cities and turning people's lives upside down is over the line. And that's the way people change. When something they approved of and thought would hurt other people pops up in their lives and puts the pinch on someone they love or know, and it makes things up close and personal. In many cases, the damage is already done, but acknowledging your part in the mess is taking responsibility for making it right, goes a lot farther than a bold-faced lie when you're trying to make amends with other people. It's kind of tough not to give them the benefit of the doubt in this situation, and I trust them about as far as I could throw them, but maybe, just maybe, they could reach others who are caught in the MAGA spin cycle and throw them a life preserver. Nicole Wallace nailed it when she said, everyone's going to be touched by this, regardless of who you voted for, because this isn't just a political problem anymore. It's personal. It's the every community, every city, and it's about to get worse. On Friday, ICE deported the father of a U.S. Marine, detained along with his wife at a Marine base outside of San Diego. In Chicago, more than 1,000 people have been arrested since deportation operations began last month. Families ripped apart, children zip-tied, a flower vendor dragged off by agents in tactical gear. This is what Trump's law and order looks like. Trump's Department of Homeland Security keeps claiming they're only arresting criminals, but new reporting from MSNBC blows that lie out of the water. Out of more than 1,000 arrests in Chicago, only 10 people had criminal records. 1%. The rest were parents, workers, neighbors, people trying to live their lives. So yeah, Nicole Wallace was right. Everyone's going to feel this. City after city, raid after raid. It's going to get worse. And it's not just happening in blue states. It's happening in places that voted for Trump. People who believed the lie that cruelty could be contained. We can see the effect of all this rhetoric playing out right in front of us. MAGA and its supporters have been pushing this narrative and this agenda, trying to force it on all of us. And Marge was one of the biggest mouthpieces for it. I remember her always talking about her favorite president, waving the Trump flag like it was a holy scripture. And we all thought the same thing. Marge is a plant, a Moscow mole. There's no love lost here. There's plenty of reasons to despise Marge, from yelling at Joe Biden during the State of the Union address, spreading hatred towards LGBTQ people, immigrants, anyone who doesn't look or pray like her. She's done nothing but inflame, divide, and embarrass her district. Her voice is like nails on a chalkboard, and her record's even worse. And Joe Rogan wasn't much better. Remember that survey where women said the biggest turnoff in dating was a Republican man who listens to Joe Rogan? You can't even blame them. That cultish mentality has become a badge of honor for these guys. They call Democrats sheep while marching in lockstep off a cliff like lemmings following their Pied Piper. That's what makes this moment kind of hard to believe. Are they really having a change of heart? Or is this just another performance? It's like that scene in Dracula where Nina stares into the monster's eyes, wondering if there's any trace of humanity left inside. That's what this feels like, trying to figure out whether these two finally grew a conscience or just realized the monster they helped create has turned on them. And when you really think about it, Nicole Wallace is dead on. It doesn't matter who you voted for. Hell, it doesn't even matter if you can vote. Every single one of us is going to feel the impact of this chaos, because this isn't just policy anymore. It's fallout. The ignorance of the Trump voter, the blind loyalty that let this happen, has created a nightmare that's touching every corner of the country and setting the world on fire. It's hard not to blame them, the mindless minions who cheered this man on and called it the golden age. But that gold only shines for billionaires. For the rest of us, you, me, working Americans, we're not in their plans. We're not part of their inner circle of Mike Johnson, Elon Musk, or the rest of that club. We're the ones left cleaning up the mess, living with the fear, paying the price for their shenanigans. It is going to hit every single one of us. And sooner or later, we're all going to face the same question. What do you do when a MAGA supporter finally wakes up and says, "Oh my God, what have I done?" If you acted on pure emotion, you'd tell them, "Screw you, lay in the damn bed that you made." For all of us, But that's not how you win people over, because people live by how they feel, not by what they know. And just like with Reagan and Alzheimer's or drugs or any of the others, it's only when tragedy hits home that the walls start to crack. There's no line of division anymore. Don't think you're exempt from this or invisible behind your screen. There's no hiding from what's coming. The wheels are already in motion. Some are finally waking up and saying, this has gone too far. But others, they've doubled down. They're laughing at the suffering, taking cues from ICE agents who shot up a priest and thought it was funny. What kind of world is that? When cruelty is the punchline, when right is wrong, and nothing makes sense anymore. I'll tell you what, I didn't have this one on my bingo card this month, but I'll take it. Because if people like Joe Rogan and Marjorie Taylor Greene are starting to wake up, maybe, just maybe, we're going in the right direction. And that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.